card is selected and lost fairly into the deck. And at the Magician's control, that card can be either on top of the deck or on the bottom. This is Fabien's control. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the studio, and in this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you Fabien's control, which is a move I've been using for the past couple of years now to control and switch playing cards. It is so satisfying to perform this. It's a really great fidget move, so versatile, can be used in so many tricks, and you can control it to the top or the bottom, and from those positions there are so many tricks you can do. I love this move. But I want to start this video with a disclaimer, because I was doing my research on this move, as you have to, and I showed it to a couple of magicians and they said, that's pretty similar to a move that already exists called Fabien's change, which is used as a colour change. Obviously, I was a bit gutted because this is something I've created independently and someone else has already come up with a move that is pretty similar. And I decided to contact the creator. I decided to contact Fabien, and he's given me the go-ahead to teach this on YouTube. So a massive shout out, a massive thank you to Fabien. I'll link his Instagram and everything in the description. Please go and check him out. There's also a tutorial by Chris Ramsey, of all people, that I didn't know about, teaching this move, Fabien's change. So please go and check that out, go and give it the love and the respect, because we need more magicians like Fabien. Thank you so much for letting me teach this. This is Fabien's control. Grab yourself a deck of cards and let's go. So when it comes to Fabien's control, there are actually two variations I'm going to teach you. One that is completely impromptu, that you can just do with a shuffled deck that is handed to you, and one that requires a little bit of setup, which you can still do impromptu. In fact, I do this all the time. You can do the setup right in front of your audience. But I'll cover that one later. I want to start with the impromptu one, which is a face-up deck. You simply hold it in mechanics grip like so. You have a card selected, in this case the lovely 3 of hearts, and this is what happens. You turn, you lose the 3 of hearts right into the middle, and like I said, they can even push the card in themselves, lose it completely, because the work is already done. That 3 is on the bottom, which is such a cool moment, and from there are so many things you can do. You can cop that card away. So the control itself is more of a switch than a control, because the 3 of hearts is never going to be lost in the deck. A different card is entirely. So here's how it works. Breaking it all down, you're going to start with the deck in your left hand in a loose mechanics grip. This is just going to be nice and loose, and you want your thumb to be able to move around a lot, so don't death grip the deck. And the 3 is just going to be displayed like so at your fingertips. And this is what's going to happen. In the act of your body turning, I won't turn as I explain it, but as you're turning, you're going to switch the card. So the first part of this is that the 3 is going to be laid face up on the face-up deck as it turns. So the deck goes from here to here, just a slight angle, and the 3 just meets it. Your hands just meet, and this card just, I mean, there's no method to this, it's just what it looks like. You just lay the card like so, but you want your fingertips to end right here, because that's where the card that it's going to be switched for will end up. And that card is going to come from the top of the deck. Your thumb, as this is happening, is going to go under the pack, contact that bottom face-up card, and pull it forwards like so, so that it ends up right there, which is where the 3 perfectly means that your fingers can grab that card. So just resetting everything, you display, this hand comes down, your hands meet, your thumb is going to push, and you're going to take this card, and as you're doing that, you turn your body so that now you have a face down-ish deck. I mean, it's sort of like this at the moment. I'm just sort of holding it by the edges just at my fingertips, and you have this face down card that you can shove into the middle. The spectator can even push this into the middle. It doesn't matter because the 3 is already on the bottom. So once again, you display, your hands meet, and as they come together, it's difficult to do slowly, but as they come together, your thumb is going to push that card forwards. So I'll show you again, I'll just reveal it. I'll do it at the speed I would normally do it, like so. And then you push the card into the center and it's lost completely. And this contacting the card, I mean, this is something that Fabien uses as a color change. Lots of other people use this as a color change, but I think this works so well when it's done face down. And all of this happens in an offbeat moment of, okay, I'm displaying the card, right, on to the next trick. So I'm gonna lose it into the middle. And it just happens at the fingertips so nicely, and you end up in this position with the deck just at your fingertips, and they can, you know, push the card in or square it. What I like to do sometimes is hand the deck to them, place it between their hands like so, and then I use a little mentalism technique that I teach on Patreon, where it feels to them like the deck is getting heavier and heavier, and you actually see their hand drop, and it gets such incredible reactions. It really feels to them like the deck is getting heavier. And the kickoff the payoff for this trick is that the card has actually dropped as their hands dropped right through the deck, and the control seems to just happen in their hands. I love tricks that feel hands off, and just combining those techniques I think is really nice. But yeah, if you want to learn that, it's on Patreon for the $5 club. So back to this, Fabien's control. It's a really nice little moment, this, and it just happens as the deck is turning over. Now, yes, you could argue this is a little bit fidgety, it's a little bit move heavy, so I'm going to teach you something that feels a lot less move heavy, which is we'll still use the 3, and it happens face down. Now, in order for this to happen face down, a little bit of work needs to be done, and I'm sure some of you are already ahead of me here, because the bottom card needs to be turned over. In order for this switch to happen, in order for this moment right here to happen, which is a little bit more difficult, yes, that card needs to be face down, because we need this, which was the bottom card just a minute ago, to match. We can't, we can't do it face up. Now, it's not impossible to turn over the bottom card in front of your spectators. You can do it, and if you don't believe that you can do this and get away with it, just do it in front of spectators in your next trick, even if it's not relevant. Just see if you can get away with it. It's just a tiny thing. It's just that, you can get away with doing it in front of spectators. So once you've done that, you're in the perfect position to do this control, which you don't want to turn too much in this one. I find that if you just do it like so, yes, you can see what's happening, but it's such a small moment. Remember, this isn't the trick. The thing you're about to do is the trick, so this doesn't matter to the audience. And if you act like it doesn't matter, then they're not going to notice. You control when your audience want to pay attention to something, so just act like this is just nothing. Then once it's in the middle, you can push it, and it's on top this time, which I think is quite a lot more useful for some of the routines I do, having a card on top. So you have the card like so, and you can turn this way, and it's just quite a nice little moment as that card goes down. Now, I was showing you in a sort of exposed way before. I think that's more helpful for teaching. I'm trying to sort of expose this in slight slow motion. It's difficult to do in full slow motion, but it just meets your fingers like so as you drop the 3 just on top of the deck like this. But if you want to just use it as a card switch, you can as well. So let's say I want to switch the Queen of Hearts for the 3 of Hearts as I put it in their hand. I can show the Queen, and then I can say, just hold out your hand for me. Fantastic. And just in that moment, as they're distracted with holding their hand out, they've got a job to do. They hold their hand out. They're not looking at the cards. So you just switch it, and it just happens right, right in their view, right under their nose. And then you can give them the card to hold on to, and now it's the 3. I think it's just such a nice thing to do. But the face-up variation with no prep required also works. If you're showing something here and handing something off here, I would really recommend that. So let's put the 3 just on top. We've got the Queen of Hearts. Let's say I'm showing it to these spectators, and then I say, sir, can you just hold out your hand for me? Fantastic. And then I'm handing him the card, and it just works so brilliantly. Just before I end this video, I want to give you 2 tricks that you can use Fabien's control/switch for. So this first one is a little sort of card reveal in a slightly unusual way. So you take, in this case, the 9 of clubs, you show it front and back, it's a normal card. You ask your spectator to hold out their hand, and they do so. So I'll be the spectator here. They put it in their hand, and then you have another card selected, and you just use any force you want, and you force the 4 of Hearts. And in this case, you say that the 9 of clubs is going to change into the 4 of Hearts. And when they lift their hand away, it hasn't changed. It's still the 9 of clubs. But when they turn it over, they see that the back of the card has changed to the Four of Hearts. And this is one card that they can examine and keep. It's a weird, impossible object of two cards on one thing, which we as magicians know is just a double facer. We know that these are just things you can buy in a magic shop. But to a spectator, this is an impossible object that they will not understand. So that's the first trick, and it's a really, really simple one. The double facer, which is just a normal gimmick you can get at any magic shop. You can even make them yourself just by gluing two cards together. This goes on the bottom like so. The normal 9 of clubs is here. You show it front and back. I make an issue of showing it front and back multiple times. And then I simply complete Fabien's switch, which is a slightly unusual way of doing a switch because it just looks like the same card. It looks like nothing has changed, and yet the back of the card has changed. And you can use this for so many things. You can change the back of a card seemingly in their hand just by using this face-up variation of the switch. And I think it's really, really fun. It's something that I absolutely love doing. And again, this actually requires no setup because it's just a face-up card. You can use any face-up card, maybe with a sticker on the back, and you burn the sticker and then you rub the ashes over their hand and the sticker reappears on the back of the card. I mean, that's just an idea I've come up with right now. There are so many uses for that. So, the second thing also uses the double facer. Here it is. We show the Four of Hearts, we change it. And we change it to the 9 of clubs, and then in an offbeat, after the trick is done, we just switch it. And this time, we don't need to make a big deal of showing front and back because it's just a colour change where you've just changed one side. So I just glance quickly. It's a nice magician fool of this for people that think you've just used a double facer to then do this when they weren't paying attention for the switch. That's just a really nice moment, and then you can hand this card out if you wish. And yeah, I mean, those right there are 2 tricks, if not 3. I don't know, I lost count. Those are a bunch of tricks you can do with Fabien's control, Fabien's switch, Fabien's change, whatever. I think it's a great move. I think it's something that I really, really like. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to go and support Fabien, because without him, this video would not exist. So go and support him. He's a legend. His Instagram is in the description if you want to go and follow him. And a big thank you to you for watching this video. Make sure to click the thumbs up button down below. Subscribe if you're new and you haven't already. I think you'll like my channel if you've made it to this point of the video. And a couple of other things. My online magic tournament YouTube channel, my other extra channel that is currently gaining subscribers, is linked in the description. It has just dropped its 2nd ever video, which I'm super excited about, so go and check that out. It is challenge number 1, which is an opportunity for you guys to take part in the channel and win some prizes. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is my Patreon, which is my membership for magicians. It starts at just $5 a month, and for that you get more than 60 magic tutorials, videos, lectures, projects, masterclasses. You even get my 230-page magic book. All of that for $5. I want it to be the best value membership in magic, and I hope that it is that, and if it's not, I hope it's close. So yeah, I think that's everything for this video. Make sure to stay safe, and I will see you very soon.